everyone, and welcome to the Smashi Business Show. Today is November 20, 2025. It's a Thursday morning, and I'm Abdul Majid Awan.
And I'm Par Joshi, and we have a packed show for you today.
And Saudi-US Investment Forum has sparked billions in private deals that happened on the second day of the visit of Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to Washington. It has boosted tech and energy ties. US, again, in the news, approves export of Nvidia AI chips to UAE's G42 and Saudi Arabia's Humane.
And Emirates to invest $12 billion in Dubai's Al Maktoum airport expansion. Central Bank of Oman launches official symbol for the Omani Rial.
These are the top stories for today, and the very first big story is the economic momentum from the White House meeting between Saudi Crown Prince, His Royal Highness Mohammed bin Salman, and US President Donald Trump on Tuesday, which translated into billions of dollars in private sector deals at the US-Saudi Investment Forum, which happened on Wednesday, hosted at the Kennedy Center under the theme Leadership for Growth, Strengthening the Saudi-US Economic Partnership. The forum brought together senior officials, investors, and CEOs from major US firms.
Addressing the forum, Crown Prince Mohammed highlighted the foundation for a stronger Saudi-US partnership and indicated that further agreements in defense, energy, AI, and financial services could follow. President Trump praised the Crown Prince as a bold leader and announced a $270 billion in company agreements and sales. He also pledged to start working on the Sudan conflict after the Crown Prince requested support.
And Saudi Minister of Investment Khalid Al-Falih emphasized that the US-Saudi cooperation is at an unprecedented scale. He highlighted the launch of groundbreaking business agreements worth hundreds of billions of dollars and underscored that the US remains the largest foreign investor in Saudi Arabia. US Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said the agreements open doors for US companies to lead globally in innovation and deployment.
So technology, particularly artificial intelligence, AI, was a major focus. Saudi Foreign Affairs Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan and Saudi and US Secretary of State Marco Rubio signed a strategic AI partnership to develop AI technology clusters leveraging Saudi land, energy, and location. Major joint ventures followed, including Advanced Micro Devices, Cisco, and Saudi startup Humane building a 100-megawatt data center in Saudi Arabia.
And Tesla and Nvidia are also partnering with Saudi Arabia on a 500-megawatt AI project, while Qualcomm announced co-located AI engineering centers and industrial AI solutions. In energy, Aramco confirmed $30 billion in US agreements, and MP Materials, which is the only company in the US which unearths rare materials, and Saudi Ma'aden, they promised to build a rare earths refinery in Saudi Arabia to reduce global dependence on China.
The forum also showcased opportunities for smaller firms. Nicholas Cooper of Covergen said that the event provides a chance to add value by bridging technology, lifestyle, and entertainment, helping to shape the next generation in Saudi Arabia. The forum highlighted the growing depth and diversity of the Saudi-US economic partnership.
And we have a very first question in our comments, and the account name is AC81329. If you can write your name, we'll take your name also. But he is asking, why do you think he's doing it? The question should be a little more complete. Who? Trump or Mohammed bin Salman, the Saudi Crown Prince? I can give you both reasons. Trump obviously wants more investments in his country. He's been there. He's been the US president for 9 months now. And yesterday, when the whole speech was being given by him, he said that he himself quoted himself saying that in the 9 months, no US president has ever done so good economically as he has. And apart from that, if you're talking about the Saudi Crown Prince, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, His Royal Highness, he is doing it because, again, as the finance minister and the Minister of Investment Khalid Al-Falih said, that the US is the biggest investor in Saudi Arabia. So obviously, if they're investing billions of dollars, they want more billions of dollars invested in Saudi Arabia. So both of them have very concrete reasons to do whatever they're doing. And he didn't say his name, but he said yes only. But it's a very nice event, official trip, which is being called the official work trip by the Saudi Crown Prince that is happening right now. Today, most probably, is going to be the last day of his itinerary. We still don't know what's going to happen. They just told us about the first day that he'll land there. He'll have a White House reception, and then we'll have a dinner, and then yesterday we had a whole Saudi investment forum. If he flies out today, if he goes and maybe visits some other places, that's going to be a question that we'll answer you later in the evening.
It's also nice to see, like we mentioned, that this whole thing is also being done to strengthen the partnership, the US-Saudi partnership. It's a complete turn from what we've seen over the years, where the Middle East was a bit looked down upon, and it's nice to see that the US now wants to heavily invest, Saudi being the number one investor in that country. So it's quite nice to have a look at that.
And he's talking about Middle East. UAE already has a $1.4 trillion investment pledge over the next 10 years with US. Qatar promised $550 billion when Mr. Trump came here in May. Out of that, $300 billion just for Boeing airplanes. So it's very interesting that these three big superpowers of capital in the Middle East, they're investing so much money in the US, and obviously US in return is ready to invest back, and that is our next story, to be honest. The next story is about Nvidia chips, Blackwell chips. Nvidia yesterday announced their third quarter earnings also. They were above the mark that everyone expected, and the share prices obviously jumped up higher. Google was up yesterday also, Tesla wasn't. Just saying that because Elon Musk was present at the Saudi US investment forum and everything. He's been not tweeting enough to push his share prices up and down.
Yeah, he's been.
But now he has been promised a $1 trillion package. If he achieves certain targets, there's like 2 million car sales in the next 5-6 years that he has to reach. He has a whole list of things that he needs to do to get $1 trillion from Tesla. And that will make him the first trillionaire in the world. But the next story is the US Commerce Department, which gets the last signing authority, has finally approved the export of up to 35,000 Nvidia Blackwell GB300 AI chips to UAE state AI giant G42 and also Saudi AI firm Humane. This has been confirmed by a press release on their website. The approvals come with strict security, however, and reporting requirements as well to ensure compliance with US regulations.
So this marks the first time Nvidia chips are being sent directly to G42 rather than to US-linked infrastructure projects. The move follows early approvals allowing billions of dollars worth of Nvidia technology to support US-linked AI data centers in the Emirates. The decisions build on bilateral AI negotiations held in May and the UAE's broader commitment to invest in American AI infrastructure.
And G42, UAE's G42, Abu Dhabi-based G42, is developing a planned 5 gigawatt UAE US AI campus. The project is under the $500 billion US Stargate initiative and the $200 billion US UAE investment pact, which again was signed when Mr. Trump came to Abu Dhabi in May. The first phase of this, known as the Stargate UAE, is expected to launch in 2026 using the newly approved GB300 Nvidia Blackwell chips. They are the latest chips, by the way, from Nvidia, the most powerful ones ever. Agreements for the remaining 4 gigawatts of capacity are still under negotiation.
So the Commerce Department highlighted that the approvals are aligned with the US strategy to maintain global leadership in AI, consistent with President Trump's July 2025 AI Action Plan. These approvals will promote continued American AI dominance and global technological leadership, the department said in a statement.
And both G42 and Humane must comply with rigorous security and reporting protocols. Basically, the idea is that America doesn't want its technology to go to China mainly and other nations which it considers rogue. So this will all be monitored continuously by the Department of Commerce's Bureau of Industry and Security. So officials stress that these measures, US officials stress that these measures are designed to protect sensitive US technology while enabling strategic partnerships abroad.
G42 has previously divested from Huawei, or the Chinese company, and severed ties with other Chinese tech firms to secure US collaboration and access to advanced AI chips. The approvals further strengthen US ties with the UAE and Saudi Arabia in artificial intelligence, signaling a major milestone in regional tech and investment cooperation.
it's very important that we're getting the chips. We, UAE and Saudi Arabia, I'm talking about Middle East because these are the latest models. Me and Word discussed this story earlier as well, that they approved the chips to come to the UAE, to the Middle East, to Saudi, to UAE, but for American companies operating in
Yes.
this region. And now they're like, okay, now you can also use it for your own local regional companies, which is G42 and Humane. So I think the idea is finally that they have approved it. And I think Saudi Crown Prince going there, His Highness Sheikh Qanun at the start of the year going there, and then Trump coming here, meeting the president, he is in very good terms with Middle East. Again, as we always say, Mr. Trump is a businessman first and a politician later. He knows that if he doesn't keep good ties with the Middle East, which is the hub of capital, which is the hub of money right
it's
now.
also growing extremely rapidly.
Yeah.
It's so fast to a point where 6 months ago things were completely
Yeah.
different in the region in terms of economics, AI, and technology in general. And now, as of November 2025, it has rapidly grown. We've within the span of a few months, even in events around multiple countries, for example, in the UAE, in Saudi Arabia, we have seen that ideas have been put out and they have been implemented within that same time itself.
Yeah.
So I think President Trump, being a businessman first,
Politician
obviously
later.
understands that he needs to strengthen ties and keep his personal biases aside.
Yeah, and yesterday, reminds me at the investment forum, he gave Saudi Crown Prince very nicely gave 1.5 minute speech. That's it. He gave the speech in Arabic, standing in Washington. Very good sign from him that we value our culture and our language. And then Mr. Trump came on, and as he always does, he spoke for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, kept saying, I did this. But in between, I'm trying to get those parts where he talks about Saudi Arabia. We'll put it out on our socials. And he very nicely said that Middle East is changing and has changed since I have come.
Yes.
He also took credit for that. So one part of that was that. And apart from that, he called out to Saudi Crown Prince 100 times, like, this is the person I believe in, this is the person who is good, bold, this, that. So he keeps constantly praising Saudi Crown Prince, which is very rare coming from Mr. Trump because he
Yeah.
loves aggrandizing himself. He's like,
it's-
I am the
it's a
guy.
good
I did it.
It's a good situation where he's put in a matter where in a situation where he has to do this to keep those ties, and it's
Yeah.
nice to see, like, might not be natural, but it's nice to see a change.
Yeah.
For
There's a
Saudi.
comment, Jet for Skies. If you can write your name again, we'll be very happy to take your name. But this comment is, how can we invest in Neom City or visit before investment? And then he follows up with a comment, Trump always has more credit for his praise. He loves talking about himself. We can't say anything about that. But investing in Neom, we followed Neom a lot in the last 2 years, the ups and downs and everything. The best thing, Sudhir, he gave his name also. Sudhir, the thing is very simple. You can invest in Neom by going to their website. Every big company, project, everyone, they have a basic website. When you open it, you're like, oh, this project. Try to search their name with investor relations. That's the term that usually the big websites use. They have a separate section on the website, and investor relations is the place where you can go look what's happening. They send out reports every month, quarterly, yearly, that this is done, this is not done. So you can go for the investor relations part of the site, and you can see how you can invest in the Neom project. It's a colossal project. It's not just one Neom. It's like, say, building a building or a city even. It's 4 parts, 4 big parts. One of the parts has opened, Sindhala.
Yep.
It's an island destination. There's a lot of islands involved in it. There's going to be, I think, 20, 30 big resorts and hotels that are going to be there. So all those people are going to be there at Sindhala. That's the first ever Neom part which has opened. Then there's the line. The line is apparently a 100-kilometer long city, sustainable, self-serving city, which will not need to connect to any place outside. They'll grow their own vegetables, they'll create their own oxygen and carbon. They'll literally
Everything will be done
Yeah.
within that city.
They shortened it. The 2030 vision was that they want to build the 100 kilometers
Yes.
as soon as possible, but they've brought it down to a kilometer or 10 kilometers, scaled it down for now. But they will build the 100 kilometers. That's one project. Then we have Oxagon. Oxagon, and then there's another part, I always forget its name, because it's very rarely mentioned. So these are the big four parts. You can choose where you want to invest. And I'll give you one quote which Yasser Al-Rumayyan said. He's the governor of PIF, the $1 trillion sovereign wealth fund by Saudi Arabia, of Saudi Arabia. He said that we don't want people to come into NEOM and invest and say like, oh, I invest and I get something out in the first year or the second year.
Yeah.
These are generational investments. So, like gold, you buy it and you sleep on it for 20
it's all
years.
for the long run. The whole project of NEOM was built for the long run. It was to show that it's basically a completely new Saudi Arabia. And I think that was the purpose of the line that was there as well around the area.
So the main idea is, if you were investing in NEOM, don't think that you'll get something out of it. Your generations will get something out of it. So this is a generational investment. But talking about generational investments and big investments and billions of dollars, we have to come back to Dubai, which is building a new airport. And Emirates Airline will invest between $10 billion to $12 billion in Dubai's next major airport, the Al Maktoum International Airport, which is for short called DWC. It was very confusing for me in the start also, like a year or 2 years ago. But the main international airport that we have right now in Dubai, it's DXB. And this one is being called DWC, Dubai World Central. But the official name on paper is Al Maktoum International Airport. Just clarifying it. But the airline's chairman, Emirates Airlines chairman and CEO, Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed Al Maktoum, announced this at the Dubai Air Show that they will spend $12 billion in building the DWC. The government is pushing ahead with a $35 billion redevelopment of DWC in Dubai South, aimed at making it the city's primary aviation gateway by 2032.
So Sheikh Ahmed suggested the total investment required will likely exceed these figures, noting that Emirates' contribution covers only part of the infrastructure. And he also mentioned, saying that, when we talk about Al Maktoum International, it's much more than that, he said during a media briefing. He said, we're not talking about infrastructure that other Emirates will do.
Yeah, so the state-owned airline, it's owned by the Dubai government and the UAE also somehow. The state-owned airline plans to fund its share of the investment through a combination of cash reserves and new debt. Basically, the idea here was that Sheikh Ahmed said that they're not planning IPO anytime soon. Sheikh Ahmed also emphasized the confidence in the airline's financial position. Emirates was the highest earning airline last year. So I don't think they need money from public to do anything. They already have a lot of money. But what he said, quote unquote, was, we have very good reserves. I'm confident that we will do what we need to do without any issues.
So the DWC is expected to be five times the size of Dubai International Airport. It's capable of handling 260 million passengers annually by 2057. The plans include 5 parallel runways, 400 aircraft gates, and an 80 square kilometer footprint. Additional infrastructure such as catering facilities, maintenance hangars will also be required. So we saw this. This will be required because a news came out around yesterday and today that the Dubai Airport, Dubai International Airport, the DXB Airport that's currently in operation, its traffic crossed 70.1 million passengers within the first 9 months of this year, and 2 mishandled luggages.
Yeah, it's again, Dubai is like the center of the world. Like, even if someone is not coming to Dubai, they go through Dubai.
Yes. So it was two mishandled bags per 1,000 guests.
Wow.
But in context of it is that the passenger number was 70.1 million. So there's a reason as to why this new airport will be needed, and there's also reports coming out that record 93.8 million passengers are pushing Dubai to press ahead with the $35 billion investment in the DWC airport.
This airport, to be honest, will be so big.
Massive
they
airport.
showed like a whole plan. There was a whole plan at the Dubai Air Show. There's the video on Love in Dubai. We will share it most probably also. Forgot to add it in the carousel. But you see the plan and you'll be like, what? Because right now if you go to DXB, sometimes you have to walk and you're like, Bro, why is it so big?
Like,
Imagine
Terminal
DWC is
3
5 times bigger.
Finding one specific cafe or a coffee shop in Terminal 3
Yeah.
itself is a massive walk.
Yeah.
So I really hope they have like those walking escalators like the entire way. So at least I can dilly-dally my way to the hangar.
There's a lot of time you can spend at those airports. I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends who love going to airports, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of people find it in
It's kind of like a hobby for them.
journey itself.
Yeah.
Like I think it's just like probably the excitement if you're traveling for like a vacation or just seeing your loved ones.
Yeah, but separately, there was another announcement at the Dubai Air Show which caught our eye and is part of DWC. UK Export Finance expressed interest in supporting British companies in the airport's expansion with $3.5 billion. So they'll give that money to British companies who want to contribute. Sheikh Ahmed welcomed the support, but he very nicely said with a tongue-in-cheek comment that it's a drop in the ocean, $3.5 billion, because the original amount that will be spent to build this big, massive infrastructure of the whole airport is too big. So,
All the amounts written are tentative. For now.
because if you say 3.5 after 2 years, that will equate to 3 billion
5.5.
maybe.
Yeah.
So you'll need to spend more to cover that up.
So during the Dubai Air Show, Emirates also announced a deal with French aerospace group Safran to set up a manufacturing and seat assembly plant in Dubai. The facility will allow new aircraft deliveries from Airbus or Boeing to be fitted with seats locally, serving Emirates and other Safran customers in the region.
So that's the story of the day. And the last story is very interesting. We'll quickly jump to it. The Central Bank of Oman has officially unveiled the new symbol for the Omani Rial, and it comes after first Saudi Arabia, they put up their symbol for Rial, and then the UAE came with a symbol for their dirham, and now Oman has joined the ranks, and it marks a major milestone in the Sultanate's financial history. The move aims to strengthen the Rial's recognition in global markets and enhance Oman's position as a growing international financial hub.
Ahmad Jafar al-Moslami, governor of the Central Bank of Oman, stated that the adoption of a unified symbol for the Rial is a strategic step. It is designed to make the currency easily identifiable across financial, commercial, and digital platforms worldwide, streamlining international exchange operations and reinforcing the Rial's stability.
And the symbol draws inspiration from Oman's rich cultural heritage. There is a very nice video which the Central Bank of Oman has put out. It's in Arabic, but the animation will help you understand what they're trying to say or do with the symbol and how they created it. It also reflects centuries of trade and economic influence. Al-Musalami highlighted that this modern emblem represents a continuation of Oman's deep-rooted economic and cultural legacy while symbolizing the maturity and development of the country's financial system.
The introduction of the symbol aligns with Oman's Vision 2040, emphasizing innovation and modernization in the financial sector. It is expected to unify the appearance of the Omani Rial across banking systems, reports, and digital platforms, boosting clarity, professionalism, and international confidence in Oman's economy.
And it's very interesting that Oman is going to be the first country in the Middle East to introduce income tax as well. So by 2028, if you're earning, the estimate, I forgot the Omani Rials, but I remember the equation in dirhams. So if you earn more than 50,000 dirhams in Oman, you'll be taxed 5% of your personal income in terms of personal income tax. It's going to come. It was supposed to happen in 2026, then they pushed it to 2027, and now finally they've signed it. The Sultan of Oman, he has signed it because he was delaying it. Now finally he has signed it in 2028. Oman will have personal income tax. There's a lot of chatter about it that this income tax will spill over into other countries. But a lot of people don't know this fact that, and whenever I read this fact, it also becomes interesting because the Gulf countries, they have a cohort which is called GCC, Gulf Cooperation Council. The Gulf Cooperation Council works very closely with IMF, the International Monetary Fund. So IMF has basically told the GCC countries to introduce personal income tax, to diversify their economy, to do this, to do that. There's a whole list of reasons. But the main thing is that it is being introduced for the first time in a Middle Eastern, in a Gulf country. And people are thinking that maybe it'll spill over to UAE or Saudi Arabia or Qatar. There's so many countries. Bahrain is there. We will see. We don't know. No one knows. The only statement I have is from the Minister of Economy, Mr. Tog Al-Mari. He was asked this last year at, I think, World Government Summit, and he said no. He said no, one, because we are not even thinking about it
Yes.
publicly, and even in private circles where the meetings happen, he's like, this discussion has never happened. So don't worry, in the UAE, at least for now. Saudi Arabia is also doing good, so I don't think it'll come, but there is chatter that if one country does it, and maybe if it helps them and everyone is looking at them as a
Then they'll look to
experimental.
pursue and-
Okay.
yeah.
So if that experiment in Oman becomes like it is going to become a reality. It's
Yeah.
now a part of the law. But if that experiment is successful, maybe we'll see something. But no one knows. Wait for official confirmations, official government officials telling you this. If anyone tells you, oh no, it's coming, say no. No country has announced
Yeah.
it officially,
Just-
apart from Oman.
Apart from Oman, just make sure to completely fact check
Everything.
your sources. And that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Smashi Business Show. Make sure to follow us across all social media channels at Smashi Business and stay ahead with our daily newsletter. You'll find the subscription link in the description.
And that's this has been a Smashi Business Show, a Smashi Business production, part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. Thank you for all the people who commented and we took their names. Sudhir especially, he said very nice things about the show, that you guys are giving information in a very easy to understand way. Yeah, we try to do that. Come online every day at 10 a.m. UAE time.
Yes.
So you can listen to us and we'll try to do our best to keep you informed about the big stories of the day. Big shout out to our more than 2 million monthly listeners across all our platforms under the Augustus Media Podcast Network. We have 22 cities in Lovin. We have Smashi 13 verticals we're trying to activate as much as we can. But right now we have a podcast for Smashi Crypto, Smashi Business, Smashi Entertainment and Smashi Sports. So if you're interested in any of the beats in terms of the Middle East, you can subscribe to them. Their podcasts, there's newsletters. We are all over social media. So yeah, thank you so much. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow on Friday. Bye-bye.
Thank you.